keep on running, but my feet don't get tired. I keep on running, but my feet don't get tired. My feet don't get tired, but my feet don't get tired.
Giving up, what's that? Life out how you running in circles, man, what track? We on the go as soon as our feet in the ground make contact. In fact, each step taken might not be exact, but we grow through the pain of every bruise, every scratch. Don't trip. Get those knees up, don't skip. Run through the competition, the division, your mind's negative dimensions. Don't let your doubts weigh you down. Fear suffocating every time that it's found. Don't put matter over your mind. Breathe your dream, catch a second wind, move closer to your finish lines. With each rep, better your time, your grind, don't be alarmed. You in the final stretch, man, pump those arms. Kill that noise. Remember your joy, your passion. Look at the distance you pass, and I'm asking.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show, and dang, they played us bogus on this one. Had to download, delete, remove, all type of stuff. But we are back, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Our little joint went back a little crazy. But we are back to close this thing up and close it out. Reese, so Ivy Hall. I'm gonna pick up from where we lost. Let me see if we can catch y'all back up. Y'all out there, come join us back. I know it's past 9 o'clock, but if y'all want to come on and just have me finish this conversation, I'm happy to do it. Or should I just do something separate? Because we did probably lose everybody. They probably like, we out. What we look like on Facebook? Did they come back? Is anybody saying we back, y'all? Let me see what my comments look like.
They did join the back now.
All right, we gonna go a little bit longer because we had a crazy little time. They are hating. What you do? Hey, Facebook, I see you. Where you at, YouTube? It's called The Show. You said just call you and tell you the cannabis stuff. I'm not going to just call you and tell you the cannabis stuff. I'm going to tell y'all right here. All right, so Ivy Hall opens up, and the first question I had was the majority black, right? Majority black ownership. Remember I told you a while back they start making all these technicalities like to it because they don't want to ever get caught in a lie or somebody to say, aha, 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 aha. And so then yesterday I was watching the press conference and it was like the same people, but they switched the white people out. So the last time they had the white people, they had like the friends of the one state rep. Reese, I still kind of take some umbrage to the fact that the white state rep who hosted the press conference in another state rep's district. And when I didn't see the state rep there, I was thinking to myself, either he ain't with the schnitz or they own some schnitz. And I'm starting to believe they was on some schnitz. Right? Like, how y'all gonna have a press conference and the only black people there in the press conference is the two people? Like, all them, again, Reese, you don't think the chairman of the Black Caucus should have been there? You don't think the bill sponsor should have been there? No, so all the white people taking claim for the black stuff. That's first of all. Like black, and then I want the black legislators to understand that's why black people don't come to you. Cause it looks like you're the ineffective ones. Ivy Hall essentially proves my old theory, which was go where the black people are not. Do not get in the fight with the black people. Like, that's them niggas over there. You want to win? Pick me. No problems. Reese, I'll be honest with you. I'm not mad at any black person that sees the cannabis window and runs through it. I'm not. So shout out to the black people at Ivy Hall. But I do have to say, when I saw that it was the other partners that refused to be interviewed was David Berger Celine, David Berger of Birchwood Capital was the 30th, and his wife, Dr. Catherine Scholars, were 35% owners, but they also had cannabis operations in other cities. It really made me say, can we see the operating agreement? Now, that's not our business. But the challenge for me is this very much feels frontish. And once again, our pain and suffering, our lack of access to capital, puts us in a position where we're not able to fully capitalize on the opportunity. I would almost argue that there is no possibility for a black cannabis dispensary to operate without the cartel getting a piece. The cannabis cartel. I'm talking about green cannabis. That's it. I don't know what the cartel is. I don't know anything about ethnicity or anything else about the cannabis cartel. But what I do know is there is a cannabis cartel. And they have figured out a way to ensure that they and their friends eat off of every component of the cannabis deal. There will be no cannabis sold in the state of Illinois without the cartel or its associates getting a piece. Now, you can tell me all day that you have 65%, Reese, but 65% of what? You can have 65% of the shares and still be entitled to only 10% of the profit. How much of that is yours? Like, remember when I told you I went to that meeting and the black dude showed you how they could show 50% on paper, but then it be, because they take all the costs, they take all the expenses, et cetera, and then it inflates? For whatever reason, this feels very much like a marketing, as Kiana said to me, so that nobody can say there is none. Right? Because if he goes a whole nother 6 months to a year, you cannot go into your presidential run when you've said that it is the most equitable cannabis project in the world and have no black people. So go find me palatable black people, not Ricky Hendon. I don't want you to don't bring me no Kiana, don't bring me no Edie, don't bring me none of them. And then the funniest thing that I heard in that press conference that I felt like nobody got, well, I'm not gonna say nobody picked up on, was the moment when they asked J.B. Pritzker, and I'm just telling y'all not getting, after I quit, I'm not gonna be telling y'all none of this stuff. Cause then I'm not gonna be able to, it's probably gonna hurt me again. But if you listen to the press conference, they said, JB, do you think that this will be the signal for all of those other companies who have been trying to get licenses to get open? Should we expect them to? He said, I can't tell you that. He said, it's kind of tough to start a business, and if you haven't had a business, then how are you going to start one? He basically said, now mind you, they created a whole new industry, and he basically said, if y'all ain't got no business experience, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna open. As a matter of fact, it signaled to me that a lot of you all are gonna die on the vine. Because you don't have, because when he said, if you've never opened a business, then you don't understand. Remember I was telling y'all how y'all don't be understanding profit when it comes to business? Like right now, all the cannabis and social equity people are saying, give us some money, or not all of them, but they're saying, we need money to start our business. Do you know what that sounds like to white people who are already in business? I want the state to pay for my cannabis, give me money to help me start my cannabis business. He basically told y'all right there on TV, it's tough to start a business, and if you don't understand it, then it's probably going to be hard for you to get off the ground. This coming from someone who has multiple billions of dollars, who has also got the cartel. So now, Reese, the only way you starting your cannabis dispensary is if the cartel gets a piece. So now what I would argue is that all of you who have been advocates fighting for this moment, take some time and recognize what's happening. I want y'all to be clear that they are going to make you spend millions and millions of dollars to build out this cannabis facility that they are going to leave, because they are going to recognize that they just need to put their product on the shelves. And why would I put my product on the shelf at your dispensary when I could put it at Walgreens? Oh, it can't happen at Walgreens? Why you think? They just did Circle K in Florida. Reese, do you think like it's a whole bunch of people holding transportation licenses? Like, ooh, JB opened up the door. Ricky was like, man, look, they opened up the door to cannabis transportation, another initiative of mine. No, fam. Let's be clear. They've been doing it around the country. And in the big spaces, if you are part of the cartel, cartels meet with cartels. Do you think they're going to try and cut a deal with you and your bicycle company? Or they going to call Uber Eats and say, hey, Uber Eats, let's open up with GTI. Can you imagine what Friday nights is with weed delivery service, Reese? You think you getting that? No, fam, this business was, let me just be clear. You're cut out already. You are cut out already. And it's like, I just need for y'all to understand what it's like to go into. I have had many a business owner tell me, didn't nobody give me no money to start my business. Matter of fact, I tell you, didn't nobody give me no money to start my business. And so I need for you to understand that as much as lip service as people give you, they are not empathetic to your cause. So Reese, what responsibility does the state have to can you imagine going to what it's like when somebody says, when JB is trying to explain, I had to help people start cannabis businesses? So the 35% partners, David Berger, Birchwood Capital, Catherine Scholars. Guess where they from, Reese?
They ain't from here.
Oh, they from here.
Arlington Heights, I don't know.
Closer to Highland Park. Like, if you pay attention to the cluster of where the cannabis owners are coming from, they're generally, I feel like a lot of the cannabis guys know each other forever and ever. Now, if I was to make the connections, and Salim, if you're still there, I cannot do it, because if I do it, then I'm going to be getting more letters. But let's be clear. Man, Reese, I wish I could tell you the name of the person. So do y'all remember that time I took that picture on social media and I had them big old, the cannabis, and people was like, man, you can't be doing that. And there was a time, Reese, when I was included in 2 cannabis deals from the original. And as soon as those guys recognized that they did not have to have a black person, guess what happened? Reese, I brought black people with millions of dollars to the table. I'm talking about mazillions of money. We all in the headquarters. We walking around, we looking, they showing us all the products because they did not think that it was going to pass without black participation. And as soon as they got the green light, you know what he told me? He said, man, I got 16 other groups going now. I could throw you in one of those, but you only gonna get 2 points. I'm like, I'm trying to buy my percentage. Then let me tell you what they came back to me with. Well, if you can get your boy to give us $20 million to try in Europe, nigga, I live in here. Why do I want to be in Europe? And if I told you what dude's nickname was, this goes back to my original conversation. When do we have the conversation? Like family. So we're clear. We have been cut out. And when JB was like, I mean, I don't know what, it's tough to start a business. He basically said, "What y'all want? Why I'm gonna help you compete against my friends?"
But that's how it always usually happen, man. They realize oh man, I don't need you. Oh snap, but oh well, just because you was here, I guess we can help you out a little bit. I put you over here, but
I was so offended though, Reese. Like I was offended. Like, man, Joe, I brought black titans of business to the table. Right now, Reese, that $10 million investment would have made people billionaires. Billionaires. David Berger. So Ivy Hall's 35% partners that have cannabis dispensaries in other states are now in Ivy Hall. And can I tell you, it's a reason that they didn't show up to the press conference, Reese. Really. Reese. I'm so tired. So tired. And in less than 3 months, 4. I'm going to stop having these conversations. Because I can't wake up every day mad and y'all not. JB just won. I'm not finna have another 4-year stand outside in the cold situation. Now you can call me Dion, you can call it whatever it is. But we don't do better working around each other. Right? For all the people that they had taking pictures, I need for y'all to get this. Your pictures made me be quiet. The potential for you to win is part of the reason that I chilled out, because y'all said y'all had it. Tried to put everybody in a room and say, look, y'all, we can be stronger together. Talk to the legislator. And at a certain point, I realized that we got to get done again. I don't know how many times we have to get done in our face for us to get that we are better together. Now, what I want you to also take away from this is that I'm not sure who can help us in these situations. Like, Reese, the fact that there's no Black Caucus there, right? Like, to think that it's in somebody's district that's Black and the Black person wasn't invited, I'm not saying they wasn't invited, or didn't co-sign it because they know what we know. And Reese, let me tell you what, I'm not going to deny no Black person the opportunity to get wealthy. I'm just not. So all y'all saying Rick is going to sell his license, or any one of the Black cannabis operators who sells their license, to the God be the glory for you. Because can I tell you what? What I don't want them to do is mollywop you because you fought to get this damn dispensary that they going to take the value out and you got a 3-year, 10-year, 15-year, $20,000 a month lease that you locked into, and they are selling their products in your grocery store at Osco. So you spend all the money to build your state. You spend all the time. You saying don't, family, that's your lobbyist job. It's not my job. I'm just here as a griot for the last 3 months. It's like, the key for them always is to separate us. You special. Don't let the rebel rouser get you. Then they take all the pictures. Y'all validate them, happy birthday them, be all on the thing with them. Hey! Did you get invited to the press conference? No shade. Then I'll be sitting up here. Can I tell you what? I probably could have gotten a cannabis dispensary, quite frankly. But here I sit, arguing, screaming, wake up, wake up. I'm sure they'll all wish you happy birthday. I'm sure that when there's an opportunity and they see you in Springfield, they'll be like, and here goes the thing. We smile while we're like, you know those socially awkward situations? What you gonna say? Because now you got to keep on smiling. And your premise will be, not yours, I'm not speaking to anybody specific, but our premise will be, well, I got to be cool because I still could hold out hope. Every day, the industry is boxing you out further and further. And now they got they first. It was hilarious to me that in the same article, they talked about 2 other social equity companies that were opening that were white in the same week. Because then I got to ask you, who did the negotiating? Who did the negotiating? Who was the lobbyist? Who was the person? Who was your team? Right? It's like, I got to be clear, we just learned about lobbying. Most of us are innocent participants in government, and we just want to get an end result. I'm not mad at anybody who wants to get a cannabis license, who wants to sell their license, who wants to get it because it's going to create wealth regardless. But I do need for y'all to be clear. Like, that should have been I don't like I told you so's I want, or I told you we was going to be rich one day. And we will allow people to pick which Black people we can be friends with. And here we all sit together while who knows who just took our birthright again. But we got people out of jail. So I'm going to let that be. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Man, I really need, I'm going to have to find that clip and I'm going to let y'all hear it and you're going to read it. Because the fact that he was like, I feel like we were under the impression that the ICEJA money, which, I mean, the loans, all that good stuff, all of it has not helped to get this business open. And now look, yo, they out. And the first black cannabis dispensary in Chicago happens to be part of a multi-state operators network. And that's when you know you touching on too much, because the phone start ringing. So I'm gonna let this thing go, because I can't be mad. Family, part of the reason that I wasn't in Springfield anymore is because I saw the BS that was happening. And all the time we can figure out a way to compromise ourselves out of the deal. We got to build the ecosystem. We got to build an ecosystem. And when people tell you things that you don't want to hear, but they know, sometimes, fam, we got to, and I got to be clear for you right now, the social equity thing ain't really that big of a priority, because remember, they can win without you now. They can win without you now. Anyway, man, that press conference frustrated me just a little bit yesterday. It did. It really did. And it frustrated me more because I feel like I've been taking myself off the playing field to talk about what's going on in the playing field, instead of like don't blame nobody though. Like, let's not blame nobody, because we all OJ right now, except for Ivy Hall. Right? Like, Ricky, sell your license. Kiana, I know you sell it or open it. Edie, you got all of them. Like, think about the story of if it was somebody that we knew, who we knew was on the front lines, who was part of the struggle, and the struggle paid off. That's when you win people. See, that's the problem, though. You can get in on the deals and be authentic, do business. But see, the problem is when black folks do it, they don't want to do business. They want some altruism. They don't want to be profit driven. You know what your best idea is? To be a good business. It's like we so worried about being true to the game for people who ain't, man, cuz you have the option to do with your money, with your license, as you choose. Everybody had the opportunity. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. We don't want people to sell it, but why would you? I'm not going to tell you to stand up, and if you going to lose your money trying to build an operation. But who's your business partner? Who's the person that's negotiating? Who's your lawyer? Who's cutting the deals? I just think this, y'all. Should read the Curtis Tarver that I will not fold, and that after, and if you changed up after the election, right? Y'all, we got to get a hold of our own elected officials. Think about this. The reason they had the press conference for the mayor was because the mayor got to come to you. The mayor got to vote now. And she's concerned that somebody's going to say there's no black-owned dispensary. So, Samir, you get your butt over there. And my number one ally, get over there and open up that dispensary so that Maze Jackson can't be on the morning show talking about ain't no black cannabis dispensaries and the mayor voted no. I'm not saying Ivy Hall isn't authentic. I'm not saying here's me. I'm not here to judge anybody. All I know is there's a lot of people that was at the front lines that's still trying to figure it out. Join the cartel, I bet you be straight. Talk to Van. It's the Maze Jackson Show, where every day I figure out a way how not to make money messing with black people. I'm sorry. I feel good today. Anyway, y'all, and let's be clear. I wish the 65% majority owners of Ivy Hall the best. Matter of fact, I'm going to make sure that my cousin shops with them because it's really not far from him. But they did prove the best way to win is to go where the black people are not. And I think that might be the theory that I need to start. Because you know what? You running around with black people, they'll hit you in the head and then tell you why you did something wrong. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. For my man, DJ Reese the Ruler, we out here every day this is the Maze Jackson Show, where we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? I'm about to stop asking, though, because y'all don't really want no answers. Y'all just like the question. And if you don't like it, still tell them. Maze said we out of here. Peace.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more. Rahm Emanuel was another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government